Welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and today we have a motorcycle part. In fact, this is an old, I don't know, panhead, flathead. I'm not sure on the terminology. I'm not a motorcycle buff, but this is a threaded piece here that we're going to be doing a repair. The threads are stripped out of here, and I'm going to give you a close-up view of it. What we've done is we haven't done anything to this yet except for clamp it down to our tilt table, and tilt tables on our Bridgeport, you can see that. And I've taken the level, and of course our table and mill is level in both directions, so we've tilted it down to where we're level this way and we're level across that way, and then I've tightened this down. Now we're going to go ahead, and this is going to be our location that we're going to relocate this after we do a weld repair, and then we're going to come back in here and we're going to machine it. So I really want to make sure that we do have it right back down in the same position here. Now we're going to be creating a new spot face and a new set of threads. Now this is not just any ordinary threads. This is a 7/8 18. So we had to purchase a tap for this, and of course before we started on that, you know, you got to check out those costs and stuff like that with your customer, and the cost of replacing this, actually finding another one without damage to threads here is kind of the lines of thinking that you've got to be in. After I do the repair here, then all the other components in here are going to be rebuilt by him and the motorcycle shops where he might send this to. But my job is to go ahead and reclaim the threads for this fill plug or drain plug. Well, it could be fill or drain. If you're upside down, it might be the drain, right? Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and get this started. Now that I have this clamped up on here, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring over our spindle, and we're going to claim 0 to this hole. And that's where when we bring it back in here and put it back down to our Sharpie line and clamp this back down, that is where we're going to be putting the brand new hole in here. Okay, so we're going to crank this on over and start getting in here close. I'm going to bring you in, show you the stripped out hole, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get a countersink, and we're going to open up the hole so that we can get in there with our TIG torch, and we'll completely fill this hole up, because it's going to be easier to come in and claim a brand new hole than it is to try to only put as much as you need and then create a hole that you would have to bore and then thread. Alright, and we have to run our ram out because the amount of travel we're going to need. Alright, eyeballing somewhat in that area right there. Alright, we took a little Sharpie and we took our dial calipers here and went ahead and put a center scribe line to it, and we can slightly screw that in there, and then we're just basically going side to side, giving it a good eyeball to the center of that plug, and right there we're going to call that center. Alright, we'll zero out our readout and clamp down our table and our knee. Alright, let's get you in and get you a good look at the wiped out threads. Alright, this gives you a good look in here at that darker section up at the top. Those are all wiped out threads. You can almost push the plug right down in between there. It does like want to screw there, and then when it gets to the full threads, You know, it actually goes through past there and then actually starts skipping. And you gotta hold the tension on the plug to get it to screw out. Alright, so we're going to set up here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to run the countersink down in here. We're going to V this out, prep it for welding. Nice and even all the way around. This is just so we can get a good angle on there to be able to get down, because we're going to take the rotary burr and we're going to take away that thread down there. We're not going to have any threads in here at all. We're going to clean that material so that we have full brand new material. I like that right there. That gives me enough in there. With the rotary burr, I'll be able to get the rest of it. Okay, let's go ahead and take it in the other room. Alright, we kind of played around with our little vise here, and we can hold it there so that we can rotate this thing around, and we're going to be able to get in here really comfortable. So the first thing we want to get in here, take a rotary burr and just clean out these little thread area right here. Don't want to lose that while we Hey buddy.
What's up?
Doing a weld repair.
Cool.
Alright, before we get going on this welding and everything, I know that several of you have asked, hey, can you get a filtered lens there so we can see you welding? Well, I've always thought that Jody at weldingtipsandtricks.com, in fact, back a year, better than a year, I requested the same thing from him, and he started producing some really nice visual puddle shots of the action actually happening in the puddle. I mean, you know, he's pretty well got that covered on his channel there, and I'm not trying to intrude on him, but you know, hey, you might be wanting to see how I dip the stick. All right, so anyhow, I'm playing around. I took apart my one of my old helmets there, one of my Lincoln helmets, and I went ahead and took the gizmo from inside, and I'm creating a face plate to hold this here, and then a dark curtain to cover any reflective light on the lens there, so I can get the best visual. It kind of my planning. So I plan on having this mounted on here so I can use my Canon PowerShot. You know, have a fold up hood here so that I can control the buttons and change the intensities and all that kind of stuff without disassembling this whole package. And I'm making it so it also sets up on my Joby camera mount. Now we're getting set here, and I'm going to cut this at 300 inches a minute. It says that the book actually calls out that I could cut it at 350 inches a minute or so. This is at 60 amps, and we're just going to let it fly like that. Alright, a little ventilation, and then I'll get you pointed over towards the table there, and we'll let it fly. Here we go. except for a little tiny bit around that hole and at the pierce points, and that's it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get this filed a little bit, and we'll be able to fold this right into shape. And this gets a fold and a little bit of tape across it, and that's going to be our folding top. Well, I got this pretty well set up here, and this just kind of like pops into this aluminum frame, so it's the regular automatic changing lens. I can flip this up to get my controls if I want to, fold this down. This is the prototype. It's got good old electrical tape holding that up. And with the Joby here, I'm actually able to just locate it wherever I want in the ball here. And then it really does high quality stand, I do have to admit, and it can flex and grip on anything that I want. Anyway, this is just another toy, I guess, and anyhow, we're going to try it out on this this welding for this aluminum case here, and filling in the plug hole here, and I'm just going to see if I can get some good shots with this thing here. So I just threw it together, you know, probably took, I don't know, an hour, you know, part of it was my lunch, and I went ahead and played with it and got something here relatively quick. It's not like it was a high dollar item here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and we're going to preheat this a little bit. Actually, we got interrupted just a little bit ago. I just deburred the inside, and I want to take the rotary burr and I want to hit this outside edge right here with the rotary burr. I got it out and everything else. I'm glad I just looked at that. Aluminum will suck dirt in from the side. All you want to do is just peel that oxidized metal off of there. You're not really trying to take anything off. It's just better to be safe. You know, 1/8 of an inch to about 1/4 inch all the way away from your welded area. Okay, now we're ready to get back to our preheat, and we just want a couple hundred degrees there, I'm just going to go a little bit until I can't touch it anymore. Start feeling the heat down at this end of it, I'll stop. It's starting to get down there now. It's not a very big piece, so it doesn't take much. Alright, I'm happy with that. Alright, and camera here, so I'm just going to bear with me so I can. Just so we're testing it out.
Alright.
And also too, a lot of people say that my gas might be a little noisy or loud, or and I thought I was running about 15 CFM here in the shop, but actually I just looked at the gauge and everything else. That's 10 CFM flowing out of there. Now I do flow argon, and this is a helium mix. Helium is turned down. It's only just barely trickling that ball. So that's all. I judge it by trial and error. Alright, now I'm trying to hit way down there in the bottom. Alright, we're going to take a look at that video footage, see how it is, and maybe have to move our camera here. Alright, it did pretty good. I just brought in a little closer here, just so I can get a chance to maybe a little different angle here. And this is all just to test out this camera here, okay, and flip it over so I can get to the other side and seal that weld off. Alright, I got this set up on its edge here, and I got the inside, and I got a good shot here from the new little camera mount here. And let's go ahead. I'm just going to flush that off on the inside here, and you'll see that in this shot here. Okay, first I just went around the bottom there so that I'm sealing every one of the little laps and everything. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in material so we can fill this out around the edge there. Okay, now we made that out flush. Alright, now we'll flip it back over to the outside and we're going to flush that out. Alright, I'm going to try to do this without moving it around like I did on closing the hole. And I think I can just play around here so you get some good shots of actually seeing the puddle itself. Okay, now we're going to hit in the middle. Okay, we're going to give that just a couple seconds of cooling. And we'll put our cover pass on. Now this little black stuff right here, that's just dirt brought in by the casting material. I'm just going to flush a little bit of that out of there. Alright, here we go.